Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to another Monday and another stream. Let me just quickly pull up the chat window and then we can start. Of course, it is another Monday, it is another stream, and also it is another quick sketch. I want to start a little series, if you want to call it that, for my quick sketches. I'm gonna explain in a second what I mean. There you go. Perfect. Making it smaller, putting that over there. Okay. So, okay. So my plan is, let me switch to the display capture so I can tell you what I mean. Hold on, display capture, there we go. So if I open up my folder, we're gonna look at the yesterday's quick sketch. Yesterday's quick sketch was, I think it looked pretty cool. Let me just quickly pull it up. Oh, and today's quick sketch number 50. So we're already at number 50 today. A nice celebration. 50 days of consecutive quick sketches. That's the one I did yesterday. Of course, it's a little bit more elaborate than what I can do in half an hour. I think it took me like 2 hours, roughly 2 hours 15 minutes. But what I want to do is I want to remove all color and only focus on black and white values. So I want to create images that don't rely on color, but actually rely on values and composition more than color, or not even any color. So I have one inspiration I heavily like get inspired from, or that came in my mind when I looked at my image. Let me just quickly pull it up and then I can show you. Okay, so the illustration style I mean is from the Destiny Grimoire anthology. Let me go to the images, and then you can see stuff like that's not a good image. Stuff like this. Let me see if I can find the artist. Is there some sort of artist in here? He has an ArtStation page, but I don't really know who he is. I can't remember his name. Nope. Let me see. I can probably just Google artist. Yep, there he is, Piotr Jablonski. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Comes with our world, is that correct? Let's just go in here and that's not the wrong way, the correct one. Let me go in here, copy that, put that in there. There it is, ArtStation. Okay. So for the Grimoire anthology and overall, his style is quite 2D, if you want to call that. Not as not as much plasticity maybe as you would expect. For example, stuff like this. Those are the pieces in the Grimoire anthology. He works basically only with values rather than color. Everything is just black and white. Basically, he has a slight yellow tint or brown tint in these images, but overall he's more focused on the composition and overall the values. So that is what I want to focus on as well. And so my plan is to not include color, but only work with values and create maybe not these super elaborate scenes, but at least like something we can create in 30 minutes. Of course, the thing I did, as I said before, the image I did yesterday took 2.5 hours, so much time. I don't want to spend that much time on a quick sketch overall. Like, of course, it's supposed to be quick sketch, so I'm gonna spend that much time on every single piece, especially not on stream, because I'm actually want to do stuff on stream. But that's my main inspiration. Yeah, so I already have a image I want to do for today, so I'm gonna save that as a bookmark. Yeah, let's go like this. Put that in there, and then in my inspirations, there you go. Okay, so I have my inspiration. I already have an image in my head that I want to do today, so let me go in here and make a new folder, and then we can start. Today, what we're gonna do, of course you can see it in the title, we're gonna do, or I'm gonna show you my way of creating realistic but simple eyelashes. So I used that technique for basically almost all the characters I did so far. I'm going to show you an example where I used that just recently, and then I'm going to show you, we're going to do one test run where I just like make them, and then we're going to do like a full explanation with all the things I pay attention to and what I keep in mind. Yeah, that I then can make a video out of. So I'm ready. Quick sketch day 50. Let me switch back to Blender. And there you go. 50 is ready. Let me switch to Blender myself. There you go. Okay, so yeah, timer's ready. I am ready. Hopefully you are as well. Let me just quickly go over all the things I want to include in this image in 30 minutes. Good thing is if we use black and white values, we don't have to care about color, obviously. So there's one thing I don't have to pay I don't have to pay too much attention to. So yeah, I'm ready. Let me just quickly, never mind. I'm gonna start the timer first, and then we can start the the modeling process. So okay, I'm ready. Hopefully you are as well. Oh, I just saw a dust particle falling down. You were able to see it in the camera. Okay. Yeah, hopefully everybody's ready. I would say. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. You should also hear that my sound quality should be a little bit more optimized. Maybe it's too subtle, but the first thing I'm gonna do is pull up my human base mesh. Yeah, that's one thing that was like a thorn in my side when I heard my recordings. So I wanted to improve it a little bit, optimize it, because I put it closer to my face recently, and I haven't really changed the settings or the filters, so I did that this weekend. And oh, hold on. Yeah, that's basically what I did on the weekend. Also edited a video, and yeah, just enjoying the weekend, doing, of course, a quick sketch every day. I think the one on what was it, on Saturday wasn't I mean, it was pretty cool, but I liked the one on Friday more. Let me just quickly go in here. Of course, I have to reduce the viewport resolution, or yeah, resolution depth a little bit, because I want to have less topology so it's easier to move. And now let's go in here and change this a little bit. What I want to do is maybe pull this higher. Hold on, fix that. There you go. Then I'm going to go in here, maybe a little bit, pull the shoulders. Can I pull the shoulders back? I don't even know if I have a shoulder setting in these. I don't think so, actually. So one thing I can do is just make this like this. Okay. Oh, of course, go in here. We can move this to the side. Okay. This is the first rig I ever created. First, what I wanted to use this for is a like an animation, but the things I wanted to include in that animation were a little bit too elaborate, so I decided to cancel that project and work on something else, which also included starting streaming and making YouTube videos. Okay. Maybe we could pull it up. Okay, let me see something. Do I have a controller for the shoulders? I don't actually. Okay. Do I need one? Can I just pull these to the side? I could probably pull them just back like this. Out. Nope. Yeah, just pulling them back a little bit should help. So we grab those. Okay. Yeah, should work. Let's pull these, grab these hands and put them together in here. Okay, more to the, like, in the middle. And there you go. Okay. Looks kind of weird when you look at the shoulders. Let me see if I can fix it somehow. Let me go back and remove the transformation for the shoulders that I made. Wait, what did I do? Actually, this looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna keep this. So, do we need eyes? Yeah, we do. Okay. The feet can be together in the center. More like this. There you go. Perfect. That's the center right there, the y-axis. There you go. Okay. So, first things first, what I want to do is pull this to the side. Oh, before I do that though, I want to go out of here. Pull this to the side. Okay, like this. Yep. Okay. Next up, I want to duplicate this. There you go. Put that in the center. And let's see if that's at 0. Perfect. Okay, this one will be the main focus of the image. This one will be more a background, or like a decoration or whatever you want to call it. Put that closer though, more like this. Do the same on this side. Oh, hold on, I have only selected the armature. Of course, I have to select everything. Oh, we forgot the eyes. So let's go in here and remove everything. Oh, he doesn't have eyes because I forgot to duplicate that for this guy. Okay, let's do that. You can probably just go in here, put these things into the camera collection, grab my human base mesh, put that in there. There you go. Okay. Put that. Nope, looks pretty good so far. Okay. So let me do that again. Grab everything. He has teeth as well, which we don't really need, so let's remove them. That just saves us some time and some hassle. There you go. Okay, grab everything we need. The eyes, of course. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, duplicate on this side, closer. Duplicate on the other side, closer. And we also need one behind him. So let's select this dude again, the eyes as well, the armature, and duplicate. More like this maybe. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna go in here and make a array. Oh, not bevel. Oh no. Okay, good. Let's save that real quick. I don't want to lose my progress. This could be a quite complex image. Quick sketch day 50. Okay. So we go in here and we go to array. Put that in there. Perfect. The only thing that I want to do here is go in here. Let's remove the array modifier right there. Okay. So I want to, first of all, apply the armature Perfect. The multi-rest can stay. Can it stay though? No, we have to go to... We can probably keep it at... We can keep it at 2. I think 2 should be enough. We put that to smooth. It looks perfect. Okay. We can remove or apply the multi-rest. Do the same on this side. Apply. Number 2. Oh, level 2. Apply. Remove. Oh, hold on. I have to go in here. Clear parent and keep transformation. Remove the... Oh, before we do that though, we have to go into the eyes. Do the same. Select both sides. Alt P, clear and transformation. And then we remove this. Hold on, something went wrong. What is going on here? We probably have to apply everything, I guess. Now, there you go. Okay, do the same in here. Apply. Okay, perfect. Do the same on this side. We have the body. Perfect. Apply this. Do the same on this side. Apply, and then select both. Alt P, clear and keep transformation. Let's just do it for this one as well again, just to be sure. And there you go. We have to do the same for this dude. So we go in here. Go in here, level 2. Apply. Eyes as well. Apply the modifiers. Both. Do the same over here. And we go in here. Nope, we select everything, of course. Oh, wrong one. There you go. Clear and keep transformation. Remove the armature. And there you go. Let's save it real quick. And then what I want to do is go in here. And I want to join the models. So it's just one singular model. Select everything. The highlighted one is the body. We go to L. No, Control L. Nope. Control J. Yep. And now it's one model. There you go. We do the same with this one. We select it. Say it should be smooth. Control J. It's one object. Go in here. Smooth and Control J. There you go. Perfect. So next up, what I want to do is go in here. Select array. Perfect. We should change the offset so it fits this one in the middle right there. Probably like... Oh, hello. Oh, there you go. That looks pretty good. Okay, perfect. We can go in this view to do these settings. Looks pretty good. Do the same on this side. Array. Put that to -1. And the count can stay 2 for now. Let's set this exact same value. 1.14. Negative 1.14. There you go. Perfect. So next up, what I want to do is go in here and bring in another array modifier. Put that to... Let's make this smaller. Put this to 0. I want to bring it to the back, so we put that to 1 first, and then we're gonna set it so they're on the same level. So we go in here, put this further back, and there you go. Almost. Yeah, that looks pretty good. 1.75. We do the same here. Array modifier. Put that to 0. 1.75. There you go. Perfect. And there you go. So next up, what I want to do is go in here. Actually, nope, doesn't work. Okay, well, doesn't really matter. We can just now go in here and put the count to something higher. Maybe like 10. That's gonna be a lot of vertices, but that doesn't matter. I should have probably reduced the amount of vertices in there, but whatever. Then we go in here. Make another array modifier for this one as well. Put that to 0. What was the value? 1.75. 1.75. There you go. Put that to 9. So we have the exact same number. And then we do the same in here. Put that to 10. And there we go. Perfect. So next up, what I want to do is bring in my camera. So first things first, grab my focus point, put that on his face. That's perfect. Make it smaller. Perfect. Okay, looks pretty good. Then we grab the camera. I want to see the camera view. There you go. Make it bigger. And then we pull it closer to the scene. There we go. One thing I want to do though is put this to a lower focal length and pull it closer so it's more focused on him. Okay. Next up, I want to put this to probably even less, maybe 30. That looks pretty good, I think. Maybe put it on the same eye level. So we go into the side view so we can see if this blue line is horizontal or roughly. This looks pretty good. Yep, looks pretty good. Okay, perfect. Actually, I think I'm gonna put this to something higher, because then it'll look shallower, which is actually what I want. So we can probably put this in a little bit higher. Let's save it first so we're not crashing. So I'm not crashing my computer. 15 maybe. Yeah, that's better. Put this to 40, and then here 15 as well. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so next up. I want to customize this bad boy. So first thing first, I want to go in here. Nope, not in here. I want to use the armature to change this boy. First thing first is I want to rotate this. Can I activate mirroring? Item tools? No. X-axis mirror, does that work? Ooh, hello, okay. Rotate this. Nope. Nope, okay, well then let's use this. Perfect, pull it higher. Let's go a little bit closer and then pull it down. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe we have it like rotated inwards a little bit. Let's pull it out. Okay. Actually, I want to keep it, I want to put it lower. Even lower. More like this, maybe. Maybe a little bit too exaggerated, but whatever. Then I'm gonna go in the mouth. Oh. And I'm gonna change this as well. Pull this maybe lower. Actually, more like this maybe. Actually, so I'm thinking either giving this one a different look or keeping it the exact same. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I think I'm gonna keep the same. So reset unkeyed. There you go. Oh, I reset everything. That's not what I wanted. I just want to reset the face. So we can go in here, select everything. There you go. Reset unkeyed. Okay, perfect. So, okay. That's better. Save that. And then what I want to do is go into rendered view so I can see what's happening. Put this to loading. Loading. Oh, freezing. Hopefully not. Okay, perfect. Shade smooth. Perfect. I see nothing. What is going on? Go to the world. We have some lighting at least. Why is there just nothing? Hello? Is it too much to render? Oh, there it is. Okay. So. Oh, that's kind of slow. Okay, well, let's just go in here and maybe we don't need it right now, so we can just hide them for now. Okay, perfect. So that should be a little bit faster. Now we go in here and I'm going to change the eyes. We go into the eye texture. So go to object, material, eye first. So what I want to do in here is keep the textures that we have in here basically. Actually, only the transmission. So let's grab the transmission real quick. We have 30 minutes left, should be pretty good. Transmission, there you go. Let's go to material preview. Okay, perfect. I don't need my diffuse. I also don't need my normal. Remove that. Perfect. Oh. Hello. Oh. Boom. I think I switched. Oh, tube. That should be flat. There you go. We then remove subsurface. There you go. We then switch to the iris. What I want to do in here is remove this one from the other. So I make a new shader and then I go in here, change the diffuse color, remove, I can basically remove everything in here. So let's do that. And put in a emission shader. Put that into the surface and put that to red. Okay. Next up. Actually, I don't want to, I can't use red. So let's put that to white. Okay. Next up, gonna go in here into the other one, switch to the iris, and we don't need transmission in here, so I'm gonna remove this. Should I? I think so. What if I remove it? Why does that change as well? Oh, of course, because it's the same in here. So let's put that back in there. There you go. Should I put both in? I think I'm gonna put both sides will get the same thingy. So we go in here, put that in there. Perfect. So if we have that now. And now we put in some more background. Oh no, I've brought back the rows of huge 8 million vertices. That's not good. Let's save real quick. We have 10 minutes left. Okay. One thing I want to bring in, let's remove that real quick. Come on. Please don't. Okay. Wait, hold on. What did I? Oh. There you go. I need the middle row. Nope, that's not the one. There you go. So one thing I need is, of course, my good old cube to put in some depth. Longer. Put that further to the back. There you go. Make it wider. Make it higher. And there you go. Next up, I want to make this a wireframe just to see through. And then I'm going to make a new shader. Remove the principled BSDF. And use a principled volume. Okay. Density 2.1 maybe. I don't know if it's loading or it's just not working at all. Oh, because it has to be in this volume socket. Okay. Can you actually see something in the background? You could kind of, yeah, you can definitely see it. How about 0.2? Maybe 0.3? That's better, okay. Next up. Go back to camera view. And then we need light. So what kind of light do we want? We have 9 minutes left. Let's play around with some lights. I want to use let's use a sunlight for this one. Let's put this to angle. Let's put this to 0 for now. That looks pretty good. Maybe change the strength to something more like 2 or 3. Perfect. Next up, what I want to do is bring in a plane, a shadow catcher, or a shadow maker rather. So I use a plane. Put that over. Before I do that though, I'm gonna go in here and make it bigger like this. Pull it like over there, over here as well, and then all the way to the back. So now next up, I want to go in here and bring in some cuts. More like this maybe. We need the other rows as well. Okay, there you go. Do the same on them. Scale them down. Please don't crash. Oh, there you go. Put that over here. Oh, put that over there. Okay, do the same over here. Scale them down to a similar width. Do the same 2 more times. 7 minutes left. Okay. There you go. Put that in there. And do the same for the last row. Scale down. There you go. Put that over there. Okay. So now I'm gonna grab my plane, pull this over them, and remove these faces. Okay. I don't think the render has caught up yet. Hold on. Oh, there it is. That's better. Okay. So, one thing I want to bring in as well. Oh no, it's starting to really lag. What happens if I... Actually, I'm gonna leave it like this for now. What if I increase the density 0.5 maybe? Oh no. Okay, that's better. Go back to solid view maybe. Maybe to material preview. We have 6 minutes left. Should be pretty good. Then I'm gonna go in here, make a new plane. Rotate that by 90 degrees. Pull it over here. There you go. Scale it. Pull it higher. And then also this edge higher. There you go. I then make 2 cuts, scale them out. Maybe not so far. More like this. Can you see them? You can't. Maybe more like this. That's better. And I'm gonna go in here. Actually, I'm gonna make them wider. So next up, I want to make another cut. Put that in there. And then I'm gonna pull this vertex up. Okay, so next up I'm gonna bevel this. Vertex bevel. I need more cuts. More vertices. There you go. That looks pretty good, I think. You know what? I'm gonna put in 2 cuts. Use this edge. Get it up there. And bevel these vertices. Oh, hold on. Okay, well, hold on. I guess this has to be more like this, maybe. And then bevel the vertices. That's better. But not as good as I want them to be. Can I change the technique that is used for the beveling? I don't think so. 4 minutes. It doesn't look too bad, though. Hold on, I'm gonna just go in here and grab this, so then I can move it. Maybe to my liking. Pull this lower, and then more to the outside. More like this, maybe. That's better, okay. Next up, I'm gonna bring in a light from the back there. There you go, rotate it by 90 degrees. Make it wider so it fits the whole thing. Also very close to it. There you go. Bring in some light. Let's put that to 100 for now. Let's save real quick and then see it in rendered view. Oh, it froze. One thing I'm missing right now is a lure. Let's put that in. Mesh plane. Scale that up. Pull it over there. And there you go. We have a plane or a ground. So let's see if we can bring in some more detail. Let's go to save that file. There you go. One thing I want to bring in is a curve. Use a path. Put that over here. More into the back. Let's remove a few rows so it's easier to work with. There you go. Okay. Also, what I want to do is, before I do anything else, I'm going to go in here, use a texture, maybe a Musgrave texture even. Put that into the emission strength just to see what it looks like. Put the density down to 0, so I can see what I'm doing. Converter color ramp, define that shape a little bit. Okay, maybe some more detail. Dimension, do we need dimension? I don't really know. Scale that down a little bit more maybe. Luminosity, I don't really know what that is. That should be better. Maybe remove it a little bit more. Okay, that's better. Maybe bring the values, the white values up a little bit, and there you go. Put that into the density. It's not too much right now, but we can improve that. We have 1 minute 59. Math, there you go. Put that in there. Put the value of maybe 2. Multiply. And then I also want to bring in a second volume and remove this. Hold on, did I duplicate it? Oh, I have to remove the link between these two. Now it should work, because I have to increase that to 0.5. That should work. Save that real quick. Okay. I don't really see the color back there. I have 1 minute left, maybe 1000. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's too bright. Let's put that to 100. I kind of want to bring in some more detail first, so let's go in here. Go to geometry, put the depth higher, so we have this nice, thing. Can't speak right now, as you probably can tell. Go in here, let's remove this, hide it, and then put this over here somewhere. Let's go in here. Oh, remove this, bring this down, just bringing in a few details. Doesn't have to be perfect, just looking for some detail. That looks better. Okay, do the same on the other side. Okay, well, it's over. Okay, let's save that and go to my activate everything. Save that right there. I need to bring in my volumes as well. It's kind of laggy right now, of course, with so many vertices. Save that. Let's see. Probably takes a while to like whatever. Oh, there it is. We have these weird rings, but I'm not quite sure where they come from. So I don't really know what I'm supposed to do against them. One thing that I want to change real quick though is just put this to black. Okay, save that. Actually, should I put this to black? I'm gonna keep it at something quite low, but we'll keep a little bit of world lighting. Let's save that. There you go. So next up, I will render this. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Let's put it to the good old sketch resolution first, and then we can do the final render later. Let's render that image. It's rendering. Let's switch that to the render view. Then we can talk a little bit more about what we're gonna do today. So let's see how long that's gonna take. So today I'm gonna show you how I create realistic looking eyelashes. Of course, I think the last time I used or I created eyelashes was for my second character in February. I used the same eyelashes in my Pokimane likeness sculpt, and also I think in my Dua Lipa likeness sculpt as well. They're pretty simple. I used what did I use? Oh, particle hair for all the for the hair. That way you can always change it. I also at some point used hair cards for one character, but I think hair cards are a little bit more complex to set up. So we're gonna use hair particles. They're pretty simple and pretty straightforward, as I said multiple times now, and shouldn't take too long. Yeah. So the way I'm basically doing it now, or what we're gonna do today, is we're gonna first create or do a test run, basically just creating the eyelashes, and then I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into it and talk a little bit more about what I look for, what you should look out for, different like small tips that help create a good or a realistic looking eyelashes. And yeah, so I don't know why, but today I'm a little bit tired again, or at least like, yeah, tired, you would call it. Let me drink something real quick, stay hydrated. Okay. So my idea originally was to show the other two beside him as well, so you can see that they don't have glowing eyes, to show that he's the only one that's basically alive or active. I'm not quite sure if you can probably see it better in the 21:9 version. So when I render that tomorrow, it's probably gonna be more visible. If you want to see that, you can look at my Noggy Daily. No, Noggy Today, the channel's called, where I upload my time lapses of all my quick sketches. Yeah, so today we're gonna not only, of course, I have in a Twitch, like in the Twitch title at least, I have 2 topics for today. I'm not quite sure if we get to the second topic. Maybe if it doesn't like to take too long. I don't think it should take like super long, but you never know. The second topic for today will be the MSI Creator Award. That will probably be a topic or a project that'll span multiple weeks. The MSI Creator Award is basically a competition for artists that MSI is hosting, the computer parts company. I think that's the main thing everybody knows them for. And they host an award where you have the topic of, I think it was like let me just quickly look it up so I don't say something wrong. It's MSI Creator Award. There it is. The theme for this year is Tech Meets Aesthetic. So I think, wait, oh, I closed it. Let let's see when the entry limit is, or when's the, oh, there it is. May 31st is the last day you can submit your piece. So until then, we're gonna work on it probably May 31st. That's, wait, when is that? Let me look at my calendar. May. So basically in like 1 month and like a few weeks. We're probably not gonna work on it the whole time, but at least 2 days a week. And in this, like, I'm basically gonna start probably tomorrow with maybe not tomorrow, maybe on Wednesday we're gonna start working on the piece I will create. I'm gonna go through the whole process, even stuff like getting inspiration and sketching everything out and all that. I'm gonna go from start to finish, and yeah, then we're gonna submit it when it's done. Tech meets, oh, it's already done. Tech, what was it? Tech meets, no, hold on. I already forgot. Tech meets aesthetic. Tech meets aesthetic. So my idea was to create or recreate, either recreate an old sculpture or recreate an old, basically like Renaissance painting in 3D, with like stuff like technological stuff like hold on, let me, oh, that's gonna take a long time. Shit, will it? Let's see what we get out of here. We could probably put this to 75%, then just upscale it. We have to increase this though. What about some nice, let's see, how about finals 256? Let's put this to 1.75. Oh, hold on. Let's go back. Oh, 256. Let's put it like divided in half. That should be better. Let's see how long that's gonna take. Yeah. So either my idea is to recreate a sculpture, a statue, a Renaissance statue, or a Renaissance painting, and then implement stuff like technological stuff from today, like TVs, computers, like phones, smartphones and all that. And either that, or one thing I already saved in my Pinterest board, let me see if I can pull it up real quick, is when it's gonna be more about recreating a statue and including technological stuff. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Inspiration, there it is. So let me go in here, switch that to display capture. There you go. You can see stuff like this. So basically, maybe not, yeah, recreating them, but more like technologically, that you can see right here with all these enhancements or like details that are more technological. You can see right here, this looks a little bit more, I mean, it has its own style. That's this is basically, this is probably the main reference I'm going to go for, or maybe this one. Just mixing technology with Renaissance art is the thing I want to go for. Yeah, I thought about maybe recreating the scene with, I don't even know who that is. where one guy is sitting on some leaves, I think, with his hand out, and then God is coming from the sky, reaching his hand to, so they both touch in the middle with their fingers. I don't really know what it's called, what it was called, but maybe I'm gonna do that, or maybe a different one. I'm not quite sure yet. That's what we're gonna figure out when we get there. Let me switch back to Blender. Okay, that'll take 2 minutes, hopefully, not 2 hours. I think it's 2 minutes. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do probably on Thursday. Maybe today we're gonna start with something. Maybe we will grab some references, maybe even start the layout phase, but I'm not quite sure about that. I think I'm gonna today, if we get there, rather work on some references, grab some references, look through some stuff, maybe get some more ideas, and then yeah, go to the layout phase. So let's see how long that's gonna take. Oh, 34 minutes. Okay, well, yeah, you know, that's what you get when you have 8 million vertices. Wait, are they even more now? 27 million. I guess we could remove or reduce the renderer resolution. I mean the sampling amount. Let's see. 30 minutes. Oh, let's see. Come on. If it's gonna be below like sub 50 minutes or 50 minutes, then I'm gonna just let it run. It's quite a heavy scene how I set it up, so yeah. Oh, let's see how long. 20 minutes. Oh, 20 minutes could even go higher, but I don't think so. The problem is it's not gonna look good because of all the noise. But well, we'll take what we can get. I mean, no, I have to finish it now because I'm like I can finish it after. Let's just let it run. Yeah, so we could probably like talk about the eyelashes, or like now, or about my day. My day has been pretty good. Not too eventful, but there's one thing that happened, which is kind of funny actually. Excuse me. Of course. Today I woke up, wanted to take a hot shower, start the day off right, and then I discovered we had no warm water. So basically all the water that came out of the shower was ice cold. I decided to just shower anyway. It wasn't too bad after a few minutes, or maybe not even minutes. Like, so what I did basically was just, first of all, I started with my legs, just started putting them, making them wet to get a little bit more acclimated to the cold. At some point, I think it even got a little bit warmer, or maybe I just got acclimated to the temperature. And then I showered. So what I did then, I didn't really just jump in and try to like bear the cold. What I did was basically just put my head under the shower and then like rubbed, so it would like distribute all over my body, which worked quite well. So it wasn't too bad. But I remember back in the day when I was in school, in high school, I had a sailing trip, basically. It was like a planned trip for with the class, or with multiple classes. Actually, I think we had like 3 boats that then we were sailing over the sea, and then anchoring at different havens or locations. And at one point, I think it was like the 3rd day or so, it was quite warm outside, so we decided to stop in the middle of the ocean or sea and start like to swim. So some people decided to jump in. The problem was, of course, it's not like in Hawaii or anything. It was in Norway, I think, or maybe something. No, I think it was still in Germany, but I'm somewhere up there in the north region. Which meant that it was pretty cold. I think it was like 19 degrees, which isn't that much. Let me see what that is in American digits. Degree to Fahrenheit. What was it? 19 degrees? 66.2 Fahrenheit. I don't know if that's like it was pretty cold. So bad thing is, of course, there was only one ladder, so we could either we could only go up, not really down. So we had to jump, which meant that you basically have to jump right into the cold water, which was quite an experience. And yeah, if you did it. It was very, very cold, so I just jumped in and basically just instantly went back, or I stayed in for like a few seconds and then swam to the ladder to get out again. I think I only jumped in once. It was just too cold. And I wasn't really having it, so I just dipped. And yeah, that's what the shower situation reminded me of, which was quite a fun thought, or quite fun thing to remember. 18 minutes left. I don't think that's a correct estimation, but I mean, we could probably talk about. I don't think we can switch. Can we just make a new? No, hold on. File. I don't want to crash this, so I don't want to make a new blend file and then work in there and then crash everything. So I'm not gonna do that. We can switch to Photoshop though, so I can explain what we're gonna do today. Photoshop. There you go. So let me show you what we're gonna do. So, of course, we have our eye. Let's just bring in one eye. We don't need two. Actually, what can I do that? I don't really remember how it works. There's a way to create a mirror effect. So you can draw a line, then you can draw on both sides and it's just mirrored. I don't remember how you do that though. Is it with this thing? No. With the line? Huh. No. I can't remember which one it was. Well, who cares? So, you have your eye, of course. If you look at this as your hold on, let me make that. Oh, I'm not drawing with a mouse. Isn't that my specialty? That looks better. Bring in the eyeball. We're not going to talk about how to create an eye today. We're solely going to talk about how you create the eyelashes. So you have your eyeball. That looks pretty good. Fill that in. Oh yeah. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is, of course, the eyelashes, not the eye itself, how you sculpt it or whatever. That might be a topic for another day. What we're going to talk about today is how you create the eyelashes itself and make them look realistic. If you look at eyelashes, there's a few things that you should keep in mind that I'm going to tell you again when we get there. One thing is they are basically on the edge of the eyelash. So when you look at the eyelash, if that's the eyeball right there, that's the eyelash, and the hair basically starts somewhere in this curve. So, and if you think about this as a 3D model, you would basically, or they when hair starts growing out of the skin, at least for eyelash hair or eyelashes, you can see that they grow out the same way the skin is facing. So you could either have skin that's like this and then the hair is growing out like this, or you could have hair that's gonna grow out like this. So what we have right here is basically the hair is gonna grow out like this, and then of course it has a certain flow, which means that it starts like this, but then it goes all the way over here and it's like in this curve shape. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind. A few months back, what I did was basically just went in here and then did something like this. But if you look at actual reference, let me just pull something up real quick. Let me see if I can grab something. This one looks pretty good. Let me just quickly, yeah, let's grab that. Put that in here. There you go. What you can see is if we use a different color, this one, we can see that first of all, you can see the curve right there. Oh, you can see the curve right there. So it goes like this. You can see where it starts. You have this round shape of the skin, so it spawns. It grows out of this round shape, this edge, and it's because of the shape, it's gonna go lower than the actual skin. So that's what you can see right there. These hairs go down and then up, so they cover a little bit of the eyeball, which is very important to make these hairs or eyelashes look realistic. We have to keep in mind that this curve goes lower than the skin itself and then higher than, of course, the edge, which creates this shape basically, more like this. If we would paint that in, we can see it like this, and then we have some more hairs that go more like this, more like this, and then of course, because of perspective, going to be more like this, and then we're going to go to the other side and it's going to continue this outward trend basically. There you go. If we do that on the lower eyelid as well, we can see the same flow. There you go. The further out they get, of course, if you look from the front, the more they look like out, and the further they're in the center of the eye, the more they're gonna be facing forward, and it's gonna just appear like a line. But they're all gonna have the same curve. Also, one thing I read a while back was that the eyelashes in the middle of the eye, so basically these ones, are longer than the outer ones. But I think that because of makeup and makeup overall, and also the flow itself, because they like face outwards, which means we can see more of them. These ones look very short, although they're basically the same length or even longer than these ones. These ones just appear longer because they are facing outwards, which means we can see the full length. And probably also because of like makeup will make them longer, maybe even as long as the middle part of the eyelashes. Okay, I think we're halfway done now. We are at 10 minutes left. Okay, I think I can fill that with something. Yeah, I mean, if we have to wait so long for this piece, then we're probably not gonna get to the MSI Creator Award stuff, but that's not too bad. Tomorrow, what we're gonna do? Oh, I have to change that. Hold on. Go to my cam and change this right here. Let's say we call it using geometry notes for the first time. Aha. So that's gonna be the topic for tomorrow. We're gonna look into geometry nodes. I'm gonna grab the newest version of Blender, the newest full version, and which also include geometry nodes. So we're gonna look into them tomorrow. I haven't really looked into them at all yet, which is quite interesting, or like quite a unique thing. Which means we will play around with them. Also, we're gonna learn about them together. I have not looked into them. I'm probably not gonna look into them off stream. So we're gonna like create some sort of project while we're learning about geometry nodes. I'm probably not even gonna look at like some sort of tutorial on YouTube. I'm just gonna go in blind and play around with them, see what we can get, how far we can get, what we can get out of the geometry nodes. I mean, they're quite similarly set up, just like shaders basically, or compositing, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, we're gonna look into it. It looks very promising. We're probably gonna do some more projects with the geometry nodes in the future. Yeah, that's gonna be tomorrow, and then we're gonna go more into the MSI Creator Award. That's gonna be Thursday, and then no, Wednesday, and then Thursday we're gonna do the same. Let's see. I think okay, that's correct. Nope. There's. Oh no, it's correct. Okay. Hold on. How long do we have? Roughly 6 minutes. Okay. So yeah, that's some aspects of eyelashes that you have to keep in mind. The length, the curve, keeping them like a little bit in front of the eyeball, lower than the skin itself, starting them off, going down, and then pulling them up. And what we're basically gonna do is we're gonna, if we have our character, we're gonna duplicate some skin, or basically the not eyelash skin, but the I can't remember. We're gonna basically grab the geometry around the eyeball and then duplicate it, separate it from the actual mesh, and then push it a little bit back into the skin, so it's like inside of the base or main geometry. And then we're gonna use that as our hair emitter. We're gonna style the hair. We're either gonna use simple children or interpolated children. I'm not quite sure yet. We're gonna figure that out when we get there. Then we're gonna set the length and all that. And when we have everything like that set up, we're gonna style them. And that's basically it. It's not too bad. If you know the workflow, it's pretty simple. You can get some pretty good results with very small effort, which is why I make this video, because it's quite straightforward. Of course, you could also make a hair card just with all the hairs going from this side to this side, and then just putting that on every character. But I think this looks a little bit more realistic, because a hair card is just two-dimensional basically. It's just a plane, which makes it look a little bit less realistic if you don't look from the front. That's why we use hair particles rather than hair cards. We could probably also use sculpt eyelashes, but if you want to really go for realism, I don't think sculpting is the right way. That's more for stylized characters. Let's see, how long do we have? 3 minutes. 3.5 minutes, okay. Meanwhile, we're just enjoying the music, talking about crazy eyelash facts, and yeah. Yeah, I have to think about, hopefully the next, I mean, for this piece I probably just did the mistake of making the models in the background way too detailed in terms of geometry depth when it comes to, like, I have my main guy in the center, and then on the outside and behind him there are more of him basically, but they all have way more geometry, which will bump up the render time. If I probably would have reduced them to the lowest resolution, or maybe maybe add one more subdivision, that probably would have been better, but that's not been the case, so we have to suffer the consequences. And the consequence is gonna take us 2.5 more minutes. Shouldn't take too long. Photoshop is already ready to import the image, finish it. Yeah, I think I kind of have to think about how I'm gonna set up these quick sketches, because I only have 30 minutes, so I can't really make a big scene. At least not like put in like super much into the scene. So I have to think about that. I'll probably just, yeah, I might have to think about just how much I'm gonna put into the scene itself. We haven't even done any post-production yet, but that's just gonna be when the render is done. Yesterday, or no, on Friday, I have my free day, but of course I finished my likeness sculpting marathon on Monday. No, wait, I'm completely confused. On Thursday, with Pokimane as the last likeness sculpt. And then, I don't know, likeness sculpting is just too fun for me. So what I did is basically, I did another one on Friday. I did one more of Devin Nash. Maybe some know him. He does stuff like self-development tips, or what he does more right now is he talks about the streaming and esports industry, how that's evolving, news and his take on it, and more stuff like that, which is really helpful for not only content creators, but also like just people that are interested in the whole streaming and YouTube sphere, basically, or video sphere. Yeah, I did him, and I think he actually like was the easiest one. Maybe because he has such a, I don't know, like a recognizable face. I don't really know, but he was really easy. So with him, I actually was able to stick to the core of likeness sculpting, which is if you can see the likeness, or like kind of the likeness in the first few rough sketches, then you're gonna on a good path. And I really saw that in the in that sculpt. Let me switch back to Blender. It's done. It's finally done. There you go. I really saw that in the likeness sculpt of him. I was able to see his likeness really early on. So then it was just a process of adding more detail and working on the shapes overall, and refining the look. And that's basically it. And that was really smooth. I didn't really have a what was it, a grandma or grandpa face where you can't really see the face. That wasn't really the case for me, or for that sculpt. That's probably also why it came out so well, because didn't really have any didn't really have a bad mid phase. The mid game wasn't that bad, how it usually is. So it came out really good. I can show you what it looks like in the end. The post-production is done. Let's save that image. 50. Oh, not as a blend file, of course. There you go. Put that to PNG. We're gonna go into Photoshop to make it a little bit more significant. Quick sketch day 50. Okay. 1920 by 1920. Perfect. Save that as a PNG. Okay. Save that, and there you go. Go to solid view. We don't need that anymore. It looks pretty good, actually. So what we're gonna do now is go to Photoshop. Let's switch my view. Oh, hold on. Wait. Okay, I thought it looked like you were able to see the frame, the camera frame over the transition, which is fatal, but you couldn't, so that's good. So let's bring that image in here, and then we're gonna do a little bit of post-production, and then we can finally go into today's topic. What I want to do first, of course, I can bring in the likeness sculpt real quick, so I can show you what the end result looked like. What I want to do first is I will bring in an image of him, so you can see what he looks like when if you don't know him, and then I'm going to show you the end result. Stream, nope, it is not in there. My blend file. Devin Nash, there you go. Render, nope. First, I'm going to show you this one, for example. That's what he looks like. I sculpted him with a smile, so I'm going to show you a smile as well. Let me just pull it up real quick. Should be this one. That was the main reference for his smile. And now I can show you the end result. This is, yeah, as I said before, probably the best likeness sculpt I did so far. There you go. You can see maybe his nose is a little bit what do you call it, like not as wide. It could probably be wider, especially if he's smiling, but maybe that's also because of the perspective, but I don't think so. Yeah, it could probably be a little bit wider, but at least you can see him, like you can recognize him. That's of course the main main aspect. And yeah, that's the I think the best likeness sculpt so far. Didn't it actually? I think it was even shorter than the ones we did in the week in the likeness sculpting streaming marathon. So, which was kind of surprising actually. So, yeah, that was quite fun to do. And it's like, because it doesn't take too long. It's not like a huge time investment, especially if it's like a Friday where I was just watching videos anyway. So I just did another likeness sculpt, and it was a good success. Okay. Let me go with this and then put in maybe a little bit of contrast. Let's see, maybe we can pull down the black some more. That looks better. I want to really have some really deep blacks. Let's see if we can actually put in a filter. Filter, we can't go into the gallery. I don't really know why. What about putting this rastering? No, we can't. I don't really know why. What if we remove these? Filter, no. Weird. Okay, well then go in here. Filter, stylization. I'm looking for something that looks like comic-y. Oil. No. I don't really see much. That looks kind of weird. No, I don't think I'm going to use that. Let's see, we could probably use gradient curve, or not gradient. Oh, we can probably use those. What I want to do is bump up the blacks a little bit. Actually, more like this. Bump up the oranges, and then the whites as well. Not too far, otherwise we're going to lose some detail. Maybe actually not too. We can probably keep the whites right there. What I want to do is bump up the grays just a little bit, so we can get a good separation between the blacks, the grays, and the whites. This looks pretty good. I really like the intensive value shifts from black to gray to white. That really makes this image look even better. Yeah, I think it came out pretty good. The only thing that is kind of missing is the aspect that I kind of wanted this to be the only model, or like Android, whatever you want to call it, with glowing eyes, and showing that the other ones don't have glowing eyes. I think that's kind of lost in this picture, but oh well. I think it looks cool anyway. Let's see, we could probably use a, what is it? Hold on, let me see if that works. There it is. Nope, that's not the wrong. That's not the right thing. Nope, that's not the right thing. Which one's the right one? This one. That looks interesting. Hold on, let me switch that real quick. Okay. If we bump up the blacks even more, that looks kind of crazy. What I wanted to try though is bring in another color. Put this to saturation, nope, value brightness, put that to 50%. There you go. Then maybe pulling this over here, the blacks higher, just making it even more stylized maybe. What if I bring this all the way over there? No, that's not going to look right. I think I'm going to keep it like this. One thing I want to try though is I have a texture that I wanted to apply. I want to see if that looks good. So let me just quickly pull it up. Wait, am I still in my... Nope, I'm not. Oh, wait, you... Oh, no, never mind. Thought you couldn't see my Devon Nash likeness sculpt, but I put it into Photoshop, so you were able to see it. Resources, textures, scratches. Do I have scratches? I think I do. I don't. Well, how about some fingerprints, maybe? Let's see. What about this one? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Yep, that was the right window. That's the right one. There you go. Okay, what about making this bigger, larger? Like this, maybe? Okay, what about then just switching that to a different mix mode? Oh, hello. That gives it some more roughness, especially in these blacks. You can see right there, these very stylized. Oh yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. Maybe not that. Maybe let's look through a few more settings. That's the one we had. Oh, hello. That's pretty good. Just gives it a little more detail that wasn't there before. It looks more like an old image. Oh, hello. That looks pretty good. Okay. I think this one is the best. Actually, either this or this. No, that's better. That's better. Maybe we could change this up a little bit. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Apply that only to this image. Okay. Nope. I'm gonna just keep like how it is. That's really good. Yeah. Maybe some. I'm just gonna play around with it some more. No. That looks pretty good, I think. Yeah. That looks good. Maybe, I'm gonna try one more thing, which is, I'm gonna make a new layer, put that down there, and fill that with black, put in a render filter clouds. Let's see if we can use them somehow. Maybe, maybe not. Ooh. Let's remove this for now. Okay. I don't think that's gonna look right. No. Just now, that's gonna look weird. Actually, maybe this one, and then can we stylize this? Oil. Okay. Just playing around with it. Can you see the settings? No, you can't. Okay, let me just quickly do the details or the settings for this filter. I don't think it's gonna do much though. Okay. Nope. Let's see, what else do we have here? Filter. Crystallize. Nope. I think I'm gonna just leave it. Not gonna use that. That looks pretty good. So yeah, I think that looks better than I expected. I don't know. I think I say that more than I actually want to admit, but I think it looks good. So let's save that. Quick sketch day 50, 1920 by 1920. Yep, save that, and then save it as a JPEG, so I can put it on my mobile phone, my smartphone, and then I'm gonna upload it. Then I'm gonna go to the other scenes, so you have something to look at while I upload my quick sketch. And then we're gonna go to today's topic, quick sketch. So I kind of want to, every time I hit like 10 days, I want them to be special, like look really good. I was kind of hesitant with this one whether it looked good or not, but I think it looks really good actually. Has a nice style, which I was trying to go for. This fingerprint texture really added some more grittiness and some more detail into the scene, which really added like a lot to the scene overall. Oh, hold on, there's one thing I want to try. There's this one here, right there, so we can put in some more. We can, oh, hello. I can accentuate the contours some more. That looks better. Oh, hello. It looks even more like a drawing or like a print than it did before, which is what I was going for. That's before, that's after. Maybe a little bit less. Yeah, that's better. Perfect. Oh, that's even better. Easy. Okay, let's save that. And then save the JPEG, and then I'm gonna upload it. You're gonna look at the month 1 compilation. And then we're gonna go over to today's topic. Of course, as always, I'll try to finish uploading within the second loop. So the compilation is gonna loop once, and then we're gonna hopefully am done with the image. So let me upload it to my phone, to my good old phone, and then we're gonna switch scenes. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you again what we're gonna do. Monday is always like the weird day. Monday is the date where I have to get in a groove again with streaming and all that. But the more I, or like the more I, or the longer, or like the further I go into the week, the easier it is. Oh, of course, I haven't uploaded it yet. I just switched scenes. There it is. Copy that. Put that into my phone. I should probably delete some images out of my Instagram folder on my phone. It's quite full. I think there's like, even, it's just Instagram 2021 and there are 109 images. So yeah, I should probably delete some of them, because it takes a while to actually load them in. So yeah, I'm gonna switch scenes. Hopefully you enjoy this quick compilation. There's gonna be a new compilation next month, so in probably like 2 weeks, maybe like a little bit more, because I have to actually create the compilation. Until then, we only have one, so that this one's gonna loop. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in a few minutes. So until then. And there we are, back again. Back again. So, I've uploaded my image. It is time for some music first. Now I can stop my quick sketch recording. And yeah. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna grab my... First, what I'm gonna do is go into open a project, a recent project. Can I open it recently? No, I can't. I'm gonna open my character that I did last month. Character 2, which this one would probably be the best. So this was originally the project where I showed off my procedural skin shader, but what I'm gonna look at right now is the hair itself, or the eyelashes, because that's the topic for today. So if we look into the eyelashes, first thing first, you can see so one thing we have to keep in mind is that once you comb them, you cannot change these basic emission settings anymore. So stuff like the length and the segments of individual parent hairs, you cannot change that once you've brushed them or like shaped them into, like put them into shape. You can do that in the particle edit mode, but you cannot do it here anymore. If you delete the edit, then you can do it, but then you basically remove the shape you've put into them, basically, or you put them into. What I was kind of interested about is, first of all, children. Okay, I use simple. Yeah, I think simple is better for eyelashes, just because there are two ways of using children in particle hair in Blender. It is either simple or interpolated. Simple is basically you have one parent hair, and then you have dedicated children that are growing around that parent hair. With interpolated, it's going to take the whole cover, or the whole surface that is part of the emission or emission object, and it's going to scatter the children all over that surface, except for when you make a map and you tell them that it's only supposed to spawn in a certain spot. But if you don't do that, you they spawn everywhere, and then they don't really have a designated parent. They rather look for the closest parent, which they will shape themselves after. So if you have one parent that looks like this, and you have one parent that looks like this, and there's one children, like one child that's right there, it's going to look in this direction, because it's going to be closer to this parent. If you have a hair that's going to be on this side, it's going to form like this because this parent is closer. But if you of course have one that is in the middle, it's going to stand right up, because it's going to be exactly in the middle between the two. It's going to be interpolated, so it's going to take both parents into consideration, and it's just going to stay in the middle. That's basically how interpolation works. It's going to look for the closest parents, or basically the parents have a certain AOE radius, area of effect radius, where they will affect any children in the area. I was just looking for what kind of children I've used for this one. Yeah, simple is easier, because then you can shape it easier, basically. If we remove the children, you can see that's basically how it looks without. We don't really need that many hair particles, which is really useful. If we go to the top thingy, the top eyelashes, you can see if we remove the children, you can see that's all that it is. And the workflow is basically just going in here, separating, like going in here, and then selecting these faces, like however many we need for the eye or eyelashes. We're going to select everything that we need, and then we're going to go into or we're going to select them, we're going to duplicate them, we're going to separate them from the mesh basically, and then we're gonna have a second emission surface or emission object that is behind the skin, which we will then use for the emission of the hair. We're gonna set the length and all that first, then we're gonna go into adding these hair parents or particle parents. Once that's done, we add children, and if we have to adjust it a little bit more, we're going to do that. The process is very, very simple, so it shouldn't take too long. But yeah, that's the rendered view. Of course, you can then set stuff like the width or the thickness of the hair. This one might actually be a little bit too thin. It could also probably... Oh, of course, we removed the children. If we bring in the children, it looked better. As you can see now, we have some more hair. Yeah. And then we're just gonna bring in children. We're gonna maybe adjust them a little bit more, set the thickness and all that. Maybe play around with these values down here for the children, and then that's basically it. So we're gonna first, what I want to do first is go in here. I'm gonna select this, duplicate it, and put this into a new collection. Where's my collection? There it is. I will call that collection eyelashes tutorial. Put them in there. So I can grab that collection into a new scene. Perfect. I should probably also grab the eyes, otherwise it's gonna look weird. Okay, save that. Perfect. So, that's saved. So let's make a new scene. Let's remove this sphere. Append the... Where am I? Nope, I'm in the wrong one. Character 2. Skin shader, collection, eyelashes tutorial. There you go. That's her, of course, without hair now. But that's exactly what we wanted. So, let's start. Hold on. Okay, we switch to face view, we will see a little bit better. Otherwise, it's super black because of all the vertices that have to be displayed. What I would do for this, if it was a character that is retopologized, of course, you can then go in here and reduce the size of the model, because then it's going to be easier to select the vertices or faces that you want. But that's not the case for this one, so it's not too bad. So what we're going to do first is go in here, select nothing, select nothing. There you go. Let's see if we can activate a certain option, which will be in the, I think it's item, right? Nope. Tool, options, there it is, mirror. Does that work? Does not work, but we can also do it later. So first things first, of course, this character is mirrored, so we don't have to worry about stuff like asymmetry, of course. So we're just gonna grab all these faces. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna look, of course, like the main faces we need are basically these ones right there. Then the same, oh, where am I? There it is. The same ones down there. That's basically the main part that I need. There you go. maybe reduce a few, make it a little bit cleaner maybe. Doesn't have to be completely clean. Of course, these faces are not really used, so we don't have to really care about that. That should be pretty good. Maybe reduce. I don't really know why I'm trying to reduce it. I'm always looking for more clean selections. I don't really know why. Okay, that should be good. Then we can go into here, select. We can select invert, and then we can. Isn't there an option? Nope, it's not. Okay. What we can do is revert that change. Select. Isn't there mirror selection? There you go. And then there's this option right there. Oh, wait, isn't it? Is it not mirrored? Okay. That's weird. Okay, well, apparently it's not symmetrical. So we just have to select the other side as well. Doesn't like take too long, so I'm not too bummed about it. Select all of those. Do the same over here. We could probably grab a few more. Isn't really that necessary. I'm just... Okay, that's better. So then we can duplicate them with Shift D. There you go. Now we have a second copy, or we have a copy. We can right click so we don't move it. Then what we do is J. Nope. Isn't it Control J maybe? Alt J? Or is it... What did I do? Oh, I pressed the wrong one. That's why I do this before I actually do the tutorial. Control I, nope. What is separate again? I? No, I is just invert. I mean inset. Loading. Oh, wait, what? I can probably just look for it. Separate, mesh separate. Oh, P, of course. So, P, separate by selection. So we select these vertices and want to remove them. There you go. Now we have two objects. You can see they're now on top of each other. You can also see that... What is that in the background? Okay. What you can see is that it is on top of the other geometry. Let me just pull them down real quick. Okay, cameras, there you go. Okay. What we have to do now is go into the eyes, the geometry basically, select them, select everything with A. Hello? Oh, it's laggy. I should probably take it, like use a different mesh. I could probably use my human base mesh. Maybe my female base mesh, so we actually have a... Or I should also have a copy of her without the applied subdivision. Then we go in here and set this to individual origins. So if they're not connected, they're gonna be seen as individual objects. So they scale individually. Now we scale them down just a little bit, like this, and then also pull them into the mesh itself. That should be pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna hide them anyway in the end. So this will only serve as a surface where the hair can spawn out of. Go to object, there you go. If we go far enough, we could probably see them still poking out, but it looks pretty good. So, emitter. Now we go in here. We can add a new particle emission. We don't use the emitter setting, we use the hair setting. There you go. Now they spawn out of this emitter, and then we reduce the number maybe to 10 first, so we can actually see what we're doing. you can see they're way too long. So we go to the hair length, make it smaller, all the way down, so it's as long as you think it should be. I'm gonna keep mine probably at 0.1 for now. That looks pretty good. And then these settings are of course just trivial for now. We can change them later anyway, so don't worry about wrong settings for now. We can probably set the settings to something lower, maybe 3 or 2. Let's put them to 3. And we can also change the seed if we want to, so they spawn in different locations. If that's something you want to do, of course, go ahead. You don't really have to do that because we're going to add our own hair particles anyway. We just want to see them in the beginning so we can actually see what we're doing. So, viewport display, we then disable, in the render setting, we disable show emitter. So the emitter surface will not be displayed, but the hair will still be there. So if you remove this surface will not be visible, but the hair would still be there. The hair would probably emit out of an invisible object. That's very useful if you separate it like how we did. You probably also don't have to push the surface behind the actual geometry then, but just easier, because then sometimes the hair emits from the surface, but it has a little gap between the surface and the hair, which you could see if you go really close to the face. You can't see that if you put the surface, if you scale it down a little bit so you can't see it. So next up, if you could see, we select, where's my emitter? There it is. So what we're going to do next is we're going to put this number to 0, go to particle edit, and then we have a few tools right here. We have the comb brush, we have the smooth brush, we have the add brush, we have the length brush, puff brush, cut brush, and weight brush. The only brushes I really use are the comb brush, the maybe smooth brush, but more comb, add, and length. So what I do then, if of course we don't have any hairs now, what we can do is use the add brush. We have a few settings on the right. We can set the radius. We can also do that by pressing F and then just moving your mouse to make it smaller or bigger. I want to put this to count of 1, so we can have individual hairs that we add, steps, and keys. What I want to do in here is set the steps to, let's put that to 5 maybe. 5 should be enough. Keys can be at 5 as well. And now if we add, let's put them out here. If we add a hair, you can see that's the hair. Children, I mean not children, but parent. The hair parent. Then we can see it's just basically a path or a line. If we switch the view over here, that's just like the edit mode. You can see we have a path edit mode, we have a point select mode, or path edit point selection, or we have a tip selection. So you can either see the whole path as just a line, you can see all the individual segments if you want to change them individually, or you can use the tip mode, so you can only see the last step basically, or vertice, whatever you want to call it. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the point select mode, and then if you want to just change a single hair, we can select them, or like this hair, can hold, or like, so what we have to do is let me remove the selection real quick. Control, wait. So you hold control and then left click on this vertice. This way you can select this vertice, and then pressing control and plus will add more vertices to the selection. So we can probably only use we can actually select all of them. We then use the comb brush to brush it into shape. So we can just brush it like this, and there you go. And then of course we have to keep the curve in mind, so we brush it up as well, so it looks something like this. And that's basically all you do. That's the whole process of creating the actual shape. We then can go into object mode. Of course, as you can see, it's pretty edgy or pretty low resolution. That is because the viewport display strand steps are 2. If you put that to something higher, maybe like i8. Ooh, welcome back, Boom 2. Hello. Hope you had a great day. My day was quite an experience, at least in the morning. My shower, there was no warm water, so I had to shower cold, which wasn't new for me. Never did that before, which was quite interesting. Right now we're doing I'm explaining how I create my realistic looking, or how I create my eyelashes for realistic looking characters. It's actually pretty simple, so that's why I'm sharing it. And yeah, so the strand steps, I can put it to 8 so it's smoother, and then if you have to adjust it a little bit more, you can go back to particle edit, brush it over. I think the shape looks already pretty good. So then we want to add some more children, so we go in here in the children's tab, open that, and then we can switch between simple and interpolated. I can show you what the two different settings are a little bit better if I actually have it set up like this. So if I go in here, select the simple version, you can see something, and that is because this the original settings for the simple children setting are a bit high. The radius is basically too high right now, so we have to go into the radius and make it a little bit smaller so they actually spawn closer to the parent particle. You can see now they're all on top of each other. If we bring in a little bit more, you can see there you go. Now they all spawn right next to the parent. If we go back to particle edit, you can then activate children, and you can actually see the children. If we move this parent particle, you can see the children follow that parent particle. So a few more settings that we should change to make it look more like an actual eyelash is, usually you have eyelashes like sticking together, which is what we're going to simulate now. We should probably also reduce the amount of children we have right now. We see we have the standard settings are 10 visible in the viewport and 100 visible in the render. 100 is definitely too much, so we should probably reduce that to maybe 3 or maybe like 4. Put the render amount to 4 as well. I like to keep them the same so you can see how much it's going to be in the end. That's especially helpful if you go to rendered view. Rendered view actually doesn't take the render amount, but it takes the display amount. It displays that many. So if we now change this display amount to 100, you can see we get way more, or 100 children, which is of course way too much. So that's why I keep them pretty similar. This way you're not getting surprised when you render your final piece and see that you have like millions of hairs. That's why I do that. So to make them actually stick together, there's a perfect setting for that, which will be in the clumping. I think, yeah, it's clumping. What you can also change, one special thing or one important thing to make them look more realistic, of course, the hair isn't like, not every single hair strand or even individual hair will be the exact same length. So one thing you can do is you can set this length value to something lower. This value up here basically means 1 is the full length and 0 is of course nothing, no length. It's a spectrum between the length of the max length of the parent particle and then like no length of the parent particle, which means basically if you put this to 0.5, right now all the children hairs are half as long as the parent particle. If we put the threshold higher, you can see less and less are actually just half as long. This basically means the length determines how long, like how long the minimum length of the children hair should be, and then the threshold determines how many of the actual children particles will be affected by this length change or variation. If you put it to 0.75, 25% of the children particle will be affected by this length change. So 25% will be only half as long. This is a good way to make them more, or make the hair look more random, which will in turn like increase the realism. One thing I want to change is also the size. I don't really remember what the size does. Let's just keep that at 0. The radius, of course, changes how far they're apart from the, or like separated from the parent. We can probably fine-tune this. This model is quite small, so we have to work with quite a few or quite small values. So we don't have to change them too much. This looks already pretty good, maybe even a little bit closer like this. Of course, now we're going to go into clumping, so they're going to stick together. If we put that in there, you can see, let's actually, before we do that, let's remove the length again, or bring them a little bit higher, so they're like a little bit longer than like only half of the length. Let's put that to 0.85. That's better. Then we go in here into the clump setting. And you can see now they stick together at the tip. That's the clump setting. And then you can also change where they clump together. So you can move this shape setting so they are actually, how do you call it? The shape basically determines if you have a, hold on, let me grab my annotation pencil. We put this to surface. So now, thank you, Boom. Of course, if you have any questions or stuff like that, you can always ask me. Sometimes I'm not quite sure if I explain everything like understandably or understandable for everyone. So when you have to, or hold on, what do I want to say? Of course, clumping. So when that's your parent particle, you have your children particle that go like this. Usually they just follow the shape, but if you include clumping, they will actually clump at the tip. That's the standard setting with the shape put to 0. But if we change the shape, you can determine that they will either be so if you put that to 1, they're gonna be more like this. If we put it to -1, they're gonna be more like this. That's what the shape does. So it determines when they should clump together. If you put it at 0 or put it to 0, they're just gonna clump up at the top. It basically just changes the curve of the children particle. Let's remove the note or the annotation drawing, and then this like looks pretty good. That looks like a good first eyelash. We can also change the shape a little bit more if we want, but I think the standard setting looks pretty good. Roughness. So roughness, what that does, or these few changes, one thing that they do is, I think the only really important one in here is the endpoint. But if we, for example, change the uniform setting, you can see what happens. They will be a little bit like scrawny, maybe, like uniform, of course. That setting is more used for longer hair, like fur, or hairstyles, like actual hair of characters. So it's not really used for eyelashes, because eyelashes are pretty straightforward. You could maybe use the size setting. The size setting just increases the the size basically of this uniform, or ununiformity, so it changes how much it'll change in this small or over the whole hair length. We don't need uniformity for the eyelashes because they're pretty straight, so we put that to 0. The endpoint, what that does is basically, if we increase that, you can see hold on. So what oh, of course, what the endpoint does is it'll, let me paint that in again. Use my annotation pencil. So if we have clumping enabled, they will stick together like this. Let's put into this one. And then if we enable endpoint, or if we use the endpoint value, what the endpoint value does is basically it'll counteract the clumping. What that means is at the tips, the endpoint value will increase the distance between the tips. So if we, for example, that is used for stuff like if you use perm particles for individual strands and you use the clumping value, you would usually have like a strand like this that then goes together. But of course, if you have real hair, not all the hair will combine into one single hair, or they're not going to end in one single tip, basically. So the endpoint is really useful for then at the end increasing the spread, so it looks more like this rather than just all of them combining into one single, or like joining in at one single point. That's basically what the endpoint does. It's basically like spliss, I think it's called, where you can see sometimes in the advertisement the hair will be shown like this will remove the spliss if we put that into your hair, and then they show the individual hair particles actually, which are like broken at the tip, so they have multiple layers, and then they are broken like this, and then they tell you, oh, if you use this product, it'll be smooth again, there will be no damage at the tips. That's basically how that works as well. It'll just spread out these individual strands, and that's what we saw when I enabled that value. So if we go back in here and just do that again, endpoint, you can see they go apart, and then if we change the shape, it's basically like the clumping shape. We can see they go back together, but you can see now, zip, you can see one of them, at least one of them, like gets removed from the clump point, or from the tip where they all join, and it'll like, as you can see now, you can see it way better now. You can see what happens. If we remove that, you can see they all join together into one single tip. Let's remove the length so you can see it better. There you go. Now they're all all together into this one single point. Then we increase the endpoint value, and you can see they're all spread out. Then using the shape, we can determine when they spread out. If we put that to something like 10 or a little bit less, they're only going to spread out at the end. If we increase the shape or put it further back, they're going to spread out right from the beginning. So that's one setting we could use for eyelashes, but yeah, we could probably increase it a little bit and then increase the shape as well. So they're gonna only split at the ends, maybe a little bit more like this. That's pretty good. So they're not all like gonna join at one point, because they're actually gonna appear more like individual strands, or like hair, like individual hairs rather than like one entity. So now that that's done, we don't need this roughness setting anymore. Randomness is basically the same or similar to uniformity, but it's gonna affect the whole strand, or it's gonna so uniformity is gonna affect the individual children, and randomness will affect all children together, as far as I understand it. So if we increase the randomness factor, you can see we will get some more randomness. If we change the size, we get a very similar effect that we had with the uniformity. Oh, of course, the difference between the uniformity and the threshold is that you can see if we increase the threshold, it's going to do the same that it did when we used the length setting. If we decrease the threshold, you can see more and more hairs will be affected by this randomness change. Let's change its shape. You can see this way we can add some random deviant hairs to, for example, a hairstyle that just float up into, or don't really follow the flow and do what they want, or like are random basically. That's how you do that. You can add like individual hairs that like float off or don't really follow the main flow of the rest of the hair, and do their own thing with this value. You can then change how much they're going to change in shape or deviate from the main flow. And then with the size, you can of course change the intensity, or yeah, size basically. You can see more and more will be, you see more and more changes if you increase the size, decrease the size. And then you also have a threshold that just tells you, okay, with a value of 100% of the hair particles or children particle will follow the parent particle. And then if you put that to 0.5, 50% of the hair children particle will follow the parent particle. So those are the values. We basically only need endpoint, so we can put this to 0. Uniform and randomness can stay at 0. That's basically all we need. The kink is more used for actual hairstyles, so we can shape these children a little bit more. Stuff like adding curls, adding waves, adding braids, and all that can be used for hairstyles, but I'm not going to use it for the eyelashes, of course. And yeah, so we don't really have to change much for eyelashes overall. We only have to add one parent, shape it, or like change the length, then brush it into shape, add some children, clump them together in the center, give it some endpoint values, so they're more split at the end, and that's basically the first strand. Then we just go back to of course we have to select this emitter, object, particle edit, and then we can basically just add some more parents. So we just do that real quick. I can just go in here, left click, add one more particle per click. This way we get some more hair and of course parents. So I'm going to fill out this upper part first. We could probably do one more, of course, keeping in mind that they emit not on the upper half. So if we look at the skin itself, you can see we have this curve right here. It's going to go like this, so it's going to face in this direction. Oh, hold on. where's my arrow? So it's gonna hold on, put that to let's screw it. So it's gonna be following this direction, and then it's gonna curve in right there and go into the eye itself. So let's just draw it like this. So one surface is basically facing in this direction, the other one is facing down. Keep in mind that when you spawn or when you add your parent particles, that you put them underneath, so they're facing down this way, as we just discussed before. I don't know if that's going to be in the recording, but the parent particles should start facing down, and then you should brush them up. This way they have a more natural curve to them. They shouldn't spawn up here and then you brush them even higher. They should spawn up down here. They should make a U shape rather than a C shape, I would say. Because if you look at images of actual eyelashes, you can see they usually go lower than the actual eyelids, so you can see them on top of the eyeball. So if you look straight at someone, you can see the eyelashes are covering the eyeball a little bit, like how they are right now, and then they're gonna curve up, so you have the natural eyelash curve. So that's the upper half for this eye at least. This now, what we have to keep in mind is we go back to particle edit, and we can see they're all facing their own direction. One thing we could adjust if it's a problem is the direction they're facing. So what you should keep in mind is these particles right there, the ones in the middle should face, of course, forward. The ones on the left side should face a little bit more to the left, and then the ones on the right should face more outwards. Basically, just following the direction of the skin, the eyelid itself. Of course, this eyelid faces more out, so this hair follows more this direction. That's basically how you can see where the hair should what would you call it? Should point towards, in which direction. So they actually look pretty good right now. What I want to do now is change the length. One thing I actually read at some point was that the length of the hair or the eyelashes is actually longer in the middle than it is on the outside. So it just appears as if the outer eyelashes are longer, probably because they're facing outside, especially if you're looking from the front. And these ones, as you can see right there, they look super short just because they're pointing forward, so you can't really see the full length. But if they're facing outwards, you can see more of their full length, which will make them appear longer. But actually the eyelashes in the center are longer than the ones on the outside. So you can see only this one is selected right now, so you can only change this one right now. If we go in here, we can only brush this one. If we want to select the other ones, you can either select them, as I said before, with holding control and then left clicking each single vertex. If you want to select multiple, control shift, selecting multiple. Or what you can do is also either, if you want to select all of them, press A once, so you select all of them. Pressing A1 twice deselects them. What I want to do is select individual, or like more than one, but faster. So what I do is use C for this circle selection, and then I just hold left click and then just go over the ones I want to select. I just select all of them except this one, right, of course, because this one's already done. And then I go Control plus, so I get more vertices in the selection. I add more vertices, and then I want to change the length. First of all, what I'm going to do, probably just brush them a little bit more out so that you can better see the full length. And then we can switch to the length tool. We can then change the radius. Of course, we don't really need to do that right now. If you want to change the radius, you can press F, which will then give you this layout or overlay. If you then move your mouse outwards or inwards, you can see it'll change size. If you then are satisfied with your size, you can just left click and there you go. Now you have your bigger or your selected size. If you want to change the strength, you can do that by pressing Shift and then F. You can see the value in the middle. I'll just leave it at 0.5, so I just press right click. This way I just cancel my operation of changing the value. If you want to, of course, apply it, you can press left click. So then the actual tool settings. You have the length mode. You can either grow the hair particle parent length, or you can shrink it. What I want to do is grow it, of course. We're going to do both, actually. So the ones in the center are going to be longer, so we'll just go in here and then left click and hover over them. Maybe even click if you want, and you can increase the length. That's looking pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to make these shorter, so I switch from grow to shrink, and then just make them shorter. There you go. Now we have this nice curve. These ones are longer, these ones are shorter, and these ones are as long as they were before. So next up, we can go back to combing. So they are already facing in the right direction. The only thing that is missing now is the upwards rotation. If you want to comb them all at once, you can do that, but that's a little bit harder, especially if we go into this curve. So what I do, so if I just show you what I mean, if I would just now comb these few in the front, you can see I comb all of them, which means the curve will be more drastic right there than it is right there. And just adjusting them all at once is just a little bit more difficult. So what I do is basically I just deselect all of them, select like a few that are basically on the same like height if you look at them, and then you can just brush them up. Of course, now they're probably going to meet somewhere, keeping the downwards trend in the beginning like this, and you can see we have some nice curvature in them. We can then adjust them individually, either by selecting, like deselecting all of them, then just selecting one, or just selecting, like keeping the multi-selection, and then using the radius to only affect them a little bit, or individual ones. This way we can get a nice distribution and also the nice curve, and that's just what we're going to do for the rest. So we're going to select a few more, add more vertices to the collection, pull them a little bit lower, there you go, and then pull them up. Perfect. This one's a little bit low, so we pull it higher. This way, this time I haven't selected the other ones. I just used the radius, changed it so I can just affect this hair. And you can see, nice, we get some nice curves. We can probably pull these higher a little bit more. Okay. That's looking pretty good. They probably are even a little bit too low, so you can pull them even higher. There you go. Of course, you can always adjust them. Maybe you want to make them look different. This is just to show you what my process or my workflow is. So I'm not going to go into too much detail into fine-tuning them. I'm just going to show you how I do it. And once we're done with the shaping, we're almost done basically. We can pull these a little bit higher. There you go. And okay. Also, we could probably point them a little bit more out. What you can also do is clump individual ones together, or individual parents. This way you can get some more randomness into these into the eyelashes. We're gonna do that in just a second. I'm gonna do these first, maybe not this many, that should be enough. Brushing them down first, brushing them up after, and there we go. Nice curve, maybe a little bit higher. There you go. Perfect. Haha. This one is pretty low, so we just move that over. Okay. Now we do the rest. Oh, nope, I don't want to delete anything. Go in here, and then brush them up. There you go. That's the basic setup of eyelashes. If we go back to the object mode, we can see we have some very basic eyelashes. Of course, they don't look super realistic right now. We can do some fine tuning. The first thing we can do is, right now they're pretty separated from each other. Of course, if we look at them in real life, you can see they're basically not emitting, like growing out of the whole space from here to the inside of the eyelid. So what we can do is we can go into the children's settings and maybe increase the radius a little bit. Maybe put that to 6. That's not enough. How about 0.3? Oh, that's not too. 0.2. So now they're a little bit more spread out. You can see they don't not only spread horizontally, but also vertically. So they spread in all directions. This could mean that some hairs will be growing out of the upper surface of the eyelid, not like growing from down here, but also growing from up here. You can fix that if you go into the particle edit and you want to pull them lower. You can select the parent particle you want to adjust and go in here into the options. You have different options. Editing type doesn't really matter. The one that matters right now, if you want to lower the root, basically, is preserve root position. If we deactivate that, or let's see what happens if we keep it active. If we then just brush down, you can see it'll keep the root position, but the rest of the steps or particles will be affected by the brush. If we deactivate preserve root position, you can see whoop, now it's detached from the surface and you can move it somewhere. So what we use that for is we just go smaller, so we can only select the vertice that is basically on the surface, and then we brush it lower. Hold on, okay. We can't see it, so I think you have to go into X-ray mode. You can either do that by selecting this option right here at the top. Switching between these two settings will switch to X-ray mode or leave X-ray mode, or you can press Alt and Z to go to X-ray mode. X-ray mode enables you to see through surfaces. This way we can see this vertice. We cannot see it right here. This way we can't like affect it because we basically can't see it. If we go into X-ray mode, we can now brush it down. If we then move it somewhere lower, we can then determine, or we can then better define where the particles should spawn from, emit from. And now you can see they basically all are emitting from below. So this way you can fine tune it some more if you really want to go into detail. But if you don't really care that some of them spawn up here, then of course you can just leave it. One thing I want to change though is I want to give them some more randomness. So one way we can do that is go into the length, decrease the length maybe to, let's put it to 0.85 we had before. Now some of them are only 0.85 of the maximum length of the parent, like 0.85 of the parent length. Then we can set the threshold so we get more or less that are following this trend. We will probably keep it pretty high, so just a few are shorter. This way we have some more randomness, so a few are shorter than the others. And then we can also change the seeds, so we change which children particle will be affected by this threshold. 0 should be fine for now. And then of course, to fill these gaps we can add more parent particles. So if you want to do that, you can do that. One thing I want to change though is we can go back to particle edit, and then what we can do is, for example, give them some more randomness. What I mean is, for example, like changing the shape more like this, so they're facing each other, so they're not just pointing outwards but actually having basically randomness, so they more they don't look as artificial. Basically just making it look more natural by removing the basically just add a randomness. I'm just describing to add randomness, but which means that you tweak them so they all have an individual look, basically. No hair particle looks the exact same, or no hair looks the exact same in real life. So that's what we're trying to emulate by giving it some randomness. So for example, we can just move a few so they're pointing not exactly outwards, but they actually have like this curve to the side. This way we can add some bigger clumping where multiple hairs clump into one. For example, over here we can do that like this. That's better. So this way we can make bigger clumps, and we can make it look more realistic. So that's basically how I do my eyelashes. If we then go into rendered view, you can see now we have the start of the top eyelashes. They look quite thin. That is because of two aspects. One aspect is the amount of children. We can probably put that to 10, just to bring in more children here. I mean, yeah, children particles, put that to 10 as well. 10 might be a little bit too much, but the main main aspect that we still have to change is in the hair shape. The hair shape determines basically the thickness of the hair, and also the shape, basically. So of course the first setting we can change to change the thickness is the diameter root. Putting that to 5, for example, will make it super thick. You can see right there, that's of course too thick, so we put that maybe to 2. This way they're maybe a little bit too thick still. Put that to 1.5 should be enough. So now they're thicker. You can see them better from further away. And then we can change the shape a little bit more. Not the thickness itself, but how the thickness is distributed over the length, basically. It's similar to the clumping shape setting. It basically does the same. I can probably show you the effect better if I just make it plain. Move that over here. And then make a new emitter out of this plane. Make new emitter. Here we use 1 particle. We put the length to 1 meter. Wait, where's... oh, well, let's put that to 0.5. So now we go into rendered view. We can see the hair. Can we? There it is. That's the hair. And then we go to the hair shape. So diameter root, as we had before, it's going to make the root but down here bigger or thicker. If you put that, for example, to 10, you can see it's way thicker now. Let's put that to 20 for now. And you can see it's just going to have a linear gradient, or like gradual decrease of thickness from the root to the tip. That is because the tip has no thickness. So if we increase the tip thickness to 20, you can see that's what happens. The only problem now is, of course, we set the tip to 20 meters, but the tip isn't 20 meters wide, just like down here. It is actually nothing, or like it is still 0 meters wide. That is because of this box right there. If we remove close tip, you can see now this opens up basically, and the tip is as wide as the root. I usually leave close tip on. This just gives it this nice ending, this close tip. So what I usually do is just put the tip down to a lower value. Let's put this to, let's put it to 10. Or no, let's keep it at 0. 0 should be pretty good. So what does the shape do? I can probably just show you. If you put that to -0.5, you can see we get more thickness, or it stays thicker for longer. The gradient is shifted a little bit to the end of the strand. If you put it to 0.5, you can see the gradient, or the gradial decrease, is shifted to the root. That's basically what the strand shape does. To make the strands or the hair particles look more thicker, of course, what you can do is first of all change the root diameter, and then you can change the shape. What I usually do, my usual settings are, of course, the root thickness is always dependent on the scale and the individual project that you're working on. But the strand shape you can probably put to -0.5. That's usually the value I'm going for. If you want to have a different look, you can of course change it. Maybe you'll leave it at 0. I usually, if I want to make my hair look thicker, I put it to -0.5. So that's the look that we're going for the eyelashes. So let's apply the same principle to the eyelashes. So we can see the eyelashes right there. And then we do the same in here that we did with the example. We change the root 1.5, maybe 1.8, maybe a little bit thicker. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we change the strand shape to -0.5 to make it appear even thicker. I mean, it is actually thicker, and that's basically how it looks now. You can see some gaps right there. We could probably add some more parent particles, but that is basically the workflow. First of all, separating the eyelid surface or geometry from the model itself, separating it, then adding a hair particle simulation to that separated geometry, setting these emission settings first. To see it better, you can first of all set the number to 10. Hair length, of course, is dependent on your scale and how big your object is. Segments, you can probably keep it 3, maybe 4. To make it look smoother in the render or in the viewport as well, you can set the strand steps in the viewport display and where is it? The render display to a higher value, so we can put this to 8 as well. This way the render will also display them this smooth. Also remove the show emitter from the render. In the render settings, untick show emitter. You can also do that in the viewport display if you want. This way, if we remove the body, we cannot see any surface. It's still there, but it's not visible anymore. That's basically what that does. So it's not going to poke through the skin itself. We can only see the hair now, basically. Then we don't have to change anything in here. We then go into the children. We add, no, before we do that, we go back up to the number. We put it to 0, switch to particle edit, use the add tool, switch up here from path edit mode to point select mode. Then we go into the settings of the tool. We switch, the radius can probably stay the same. The count we put to 1. The steps we put to 5, keys to 5. And that's basically everything you need. This should be ticked both. And then, so preserve strand length should be ticked and preserve root position as well. Then we just add a parent. You can see it adds it. You should add it underneath, so it's facing down in the beginning. Then we switch to the brush tool, select, like we can probably just do it now. We can fill this gap. So it's facing down now. We select the vertices by holding Control, left clicking, or using the circular selection tool, selecting all we need. If you want to add more vertices to the selection, Control plus, there you go. Use the comb tool, and then we make a small curve, or like brush it upwards, like this. And also keep in mind that it should face like it should face in a similar direction that the skin is facing, where it's emitting from. Like this. You shape your curve, then you go back to object mode. You go into the particle settings again. You add your simple children, display amount. Yeah, you can play around with that depending on how many children you want to have, or how many eyelashes you want to have. The length you can adjust a little bit. You could probably just copy my settings, 0.85 for example, or you can play around with them. These ones should be a good base. Should be good base settings for you, and then you can like tweak them if you want. The length of 0.85, threshold 0.89, or maybe also 0.85. You could change the seed if you want to have a different or different hair particles that should be affected by the length changes. So if we do that, you can see now we change basically the look of the eyelashes of the children. That is basically what the seed does. You can put that back to 0. Radius, of course, we saw it before. If we increase the children, or if we enable the children in the beginning, it was like this. So we have to, of course, if your model is smaller, the scale is very small, you have to decrease the radius from where your children particle will spawn around your parent particle. Make it a little bit wider, so they spawn further, like further away from your parent particle. Then roundness, you can change that if you want. Roundness can just stay at 0. Clumping, you can put that to 1. Shape, if you want to change that, of course, you can do that. Now it's going to be a little puffier. If you do that, put that to 1, they're going to all start clumping right from the beginning. So leaving the shape at 0 should be a pretty good value. The twist, we don't need a twist. That will just twist as it like states the hair. We don't have twisted hair or twisted eyelashes, so we don't need that. Roughness, uniformity, or the uniform value we don't need. Endpoint, we can change that so they're going to be more spread out. If you want to decrease that, you can make that smaller. You can see now they're all going to be meeting in one point, which isn't really what we want for eyelashes, so we use the endpoint setting. I have put it to a 0.056, maybe 0.05. Should be a good value to make them round them up. The shape, we can change them as well to determine when they should split apart. My value right there is 3.9. Randomness we don't need. And hair shape, -0.5. The root diameter, you can play around with. My setting right now is 1.8. Probably also dependent on your object scale. Close tip enabled. Yeah, that's basically it. The diameter scale, I think, yeah, it's the multiplier of diameter properties. So it basically, as far as I understand it, just makes these values even higher or lower. If you put that to 0.02, they get way thicker. So I usually leave the diameter scale at 0.01. And that's basically how I create my eyelashes. One thing, if you what I do is I separate the upper particle or the upper eyelashes from the lower eyelashes, just because the settings differ a little bit. For example, usually the length of the lower eyelashes is shorter, so the lower eyelashes are shorter than the upper eyelashes. That's why you can then just go in here, create a second particle setting layer. I can call the first one upper eyelashes, then the other one lower eyelashes. Switch that to hair, and there we go. Now we can change the length. What did we have in here? 0.01. We can probably put this to 0.005. So now they're shorter than the ones up there. Should probably be a little bit longer, maybe 0.0075. And then, yeah, go from there, do the exact same that we did up there, just down here. And yeah, that's how I create my eyelashes. Of course, I think if the geometry is the exact same on both sides, if it's mirrored basically, you can enable, hold on, no, I think that's only for the particle edit. You can use symmetry to affect both sides equally, but of course I usually don't do that. I just do one side first and then do the other one. Yeah, I do the upper one, so separate the upper one from the lower eyelashes, model them individually. Then I just go over here, select the upper eyelashes layer again, add eyelashes to this side, style them, switch to the lower eyelashes, style these, and then you have your eyelashes. That's basically how do my eyelashes. And that's also how I did the eyelashes in the thumbnail. And I mean, they look pretty similar to these ones. I can probably show you an example. Let me just open up a, let's see. We could probably open that. We don't need to save that, do we? No, we don't. So there you go. You can see right there, I also added a makeup layer. So with this one, that's basically the hair layer. I just added this eyeliner basically just to accentuate like the makeup, put in some more makeup by sculpting it in. And you can see right there, that's basically the eyelashes I used for this sculpt. Looks like this if you look from the front. Could be probably a little bit more. If you want to change it, you can just go in here. For example, go into here, top. If you want to, for example, bring more to the top, more hairs, go to children, increase the display amount to 20, for example. 20. Let's go to solid view again. You can see now we have more. They're put quite close together. So we can, for example, go into the radius, put this to 0.3. They're more further apart, maybe a little bit more. How about 5? There you go. We could also increase the roundness, for example, if we want. We don't need to. Roundness is basically just the radius around the parent, how round this radius is. What I want to change is clumping is already applied. I want to go into the roughness and put in some endpoint, a endpoint value, put the shape higher so they're only separating at the tip, more like this. And then we could also adjust the these individual parents some more. What if we go to rendered view? We can see we have some more hairs now. So that's basically how I create my realistic looking eyelashes in Blender with hair particles. You can also do it with hair cards, but I think that's a longer process and it's a little bit more complicated. That's why I usually use hair particles. If you want to animate this, you can. I think you can do it. I haven't really tried that. It should be. It's definitely possible, but I've just never tried that, so I can't give you any advice on that. I think you just put in, like, apply this surface right there. Where is it? Eyelashes. There you go. You parent this surface, this emitter surface, to the same rig you parent all the other objects to, and then I think the hair should just deform how it's supposed to deform. So that is basically how I create my eyelashes. Pretty simple. Once you get it down, it shouldn't take too long. Yeah, of course, if you have any questions, you can always put them in the comments. If you liked the video, you can give it a like. If you did like the video, have any criticism, you can give it a dislike, put them in the comments. Maybe you want to see more, you can subscribe, or maybe I'll see you in one of my streams. This is basically recorded every day, or like every Monday I have a tutorial stream where I show any tutorials in Blender. This is one of them, of course. So if you want to join one of those, you can do that. Monday it's going to be tutorials. Tuesday it is a project that we're going to start and finish on the same day, and the other 2 days are more chill, where I just do whatever I want. More about talking and conversation than an actual goal. Yeah, if you want to see more, you can check out my other videos. Other than that, hope you have a great day. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and yeah, until then, take care. Of course, that was just the outro for the video that's gonna be that I'm gonna make out of this stream. So as I explained, Monday I usually do show any some sort of tutorial about some sort of topic. Tuesday I just pick out a project this Tuesday, so tomorrow we're gonna dive into the world of geometry nodes and look into them. I've never really played around with them. I haven't really looked into them too much. I just know the general general idea behind them, that you just use nodes to animate particles. I don't really know much more. So we're going to look into that tomorrow. We'll see what we can create in roughly 3 hours without any prior knowledge to how you use them. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to work on my MSI Creator Award submission. And we could probably work on that as well right now. So what I want to do first, of course, I explained it at the beginning of the stream. I can probably explain it again. Let's just open up a new file. The MSI Creator Award is a competition for artists where MSI, the computer parts company or manufacturer, they host a competition with a theme. This year's theme is technology meets aesthetic. So everything under that theme works. And you can submit you can submit either in 2D, in 2D animations, in 3D, or 3D animations. So what I'm going to do, of course, is going to be a 3D static image, no animation. And my idea was some sort of Renaissance, either sculpture or painting, that I want to recreate in Blender, of course, as my scene, with some sort of technological add-ons or technological stuff, like, I don't know, in some sort of painting. I don't even know, like Mona Lisa, for example, just as an example. It's like looking at her phone while the photo is taken, or while the painter is painting, stuff like that. Just combining technology with old sculptures or paintings. One of the main inspirations I have right now, I can show you in a second. Let me just pull it up real quick. Which is more about sculpting or recreating a Renaissance sculpt with added technology similar to Cyberpunk. Let me switch my capture scene. There you go. You can see right there. That's the main inspiration I have right now. Basically the sculpture of, I don't really know who that is, or like what the name of it is, but it's basically a recreation of that, but with added technological parts, or like you can see prosthetics. That's basically what I'm going for. Either just a sculpt that I'm gonna really put time into and put in like a lot of detail, or I'm gonna do a whole full scene. So what I'm probably gonna do now, because we have some more time, we probably have like half an hour, is I'm gonna do some preparation for the actual process of creating this piece, this submission. So you can see that's today's quick sketch. Looks pretty cool, I think. I added this finger, what is it called? The fingerprint texture on top of it, so it looks more plastic or like more realistic, because it looks like there's like some sort of dirt on it, which looks pretty cool, I think. That's going to be the style of all the images or quick sketches I'm going to go for over the few, I don't know, weeks or so. I like this style really like a lot right now. These really harsh blacks and whites at no color, basically. So you can really focus on the layout and the shading and the forms itself. Yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna go for. Let's go back in here. So I already have a text file just for a reminder. So let's make a new folder. Let's call that MSI Creator Award Submission. We can delete that. And then we can go in here, make a new folder. That's usually my structure material, where I save all my references and inspirations. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to look through Pinterest, or maybe like even Google, look at a few interesting images or like inspirations that we're gonna like reference, or like yeah, basically get like use as inspiration for our final sculpt. So let's first of all grab this, for example. I'm not gonna like exactly do the exact same that you can see in this image. This will just serve me as inspiration for my piece. I'm not gonna recreate the exact sculpt, for example. Okay. So that's the first one. The next, oh, hold on, I went too far, apparently. I have to go back into my inspirations collection. There you go, that's the second one. You can see this is an actual statue that is then where they added stuff like vents or mechanical parts. Basically like cyberpunk. They got cyberpunked. And yeah, that's probably the style I'm going for. This one also, another statue with a similar style, less technology, more these layers on top of each other, these like smaller plates, or like just shape layers that are layered on top of each other to form this statue, which looks really cool. Maybe I'm going for something similar. Let's go through here. We have to pay attention that there's no nudity. Okay, which will be, okay, hold on, I'm gonna do it like this. So I'm gonna see the image first, and then if I see something good, I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Okay, that's better. I don't wanna show something that isn't appropriate. So let's see. One thing I want to look out for are old Renaissance paintings. Hold on. There's some Android art that could be helpful. Just to see the overall shapes, for example. This one, these lines can really accentuate shapes if you use them correctly. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Open image in new tab, save that in there. Okay, there was one more. This one right there. Really simple. Okay, so now, right now what I'm just going for is grabbing some inspiration. So I have some, of course, inspiration to work off of when I start my piece. Let's look at some potential Renaissance paintings. Let's see. Oh, there he is. David by Michelangelo. There he is. I can't show him because he... Well, I can show this one. Hold on. Oh no! Hold on. There you go. There he is. That's the image we saw before. This one right there. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. I can't see any... Why is it not showing what it looks like? There it is. There it is. Yep. David. Oh. Okay. So, yeah, oh, hold on. That's not appropriate. I'm either gonna go for a statue or a painting. So what I wanted to look out for are paintings, Renaissance paintings. Let me see. Mona Lisa, of course. Let's just collect the ones that I think could be a potential winner. Of course, this one. You can... Oh, hold on. I have to find something. Yeah, this one. So this one I thought could be a good idea. Just the scene. Yeah, maybe this one. Maybe so recreating this in 3D basically. I'm not quite sure yet if that's the one I want to do. Let's look through a few more. I'm gonna save it though. Build in a new tab. Material. Nope, that's not a web. Save that. Do a screenshot. There you go. Oh, there you go. Projects 2021. There you go. So yeah, as I said before, just gonna go through I'm gonna scour the internet and find some inspiration, some references, and then I'm gonna decide what I'm actually gonna recreate or like create overall. Let's see what else we have. Of course, if I'm looking for Renaissance painting, I'm gonna go for more famous paintings so you can actually recognize what I'm recreating. Mona Lisa, of course. Oh my god, always a web project. Screenshot this. Good old Mona Lisa. Oh, material, there you go. So, oh, okay. Let's see, what else do we have here? A lot of nudity. Which could be a problem. When it comes to people, or when I'm gonna sculpt people as well, or humans. I'm not gonna use my base mesh just because I want to actually create new models for this piece. I'm not gonna start off using a base mesh. That's just one like rule I set for myself. Of course, it can't be too complex. If you look at this image, for example, that's way too complex. It would probably take way too long, so we're not going to do that. Let's see. Let's look at sculptures. Maybe sculptures are more appropriate because, of course, we're going to sculpt our piece, so it's probably more appropriate to recreate a sculpture. Okay, this one looks pretty good. I probably can't show it though. Hold on. Can I? hold on. How could we? No, I can't show it to you. What I could probably do is save it. Yeah, you could kind of see it, like a dude and two other dudes, or even females, I don't really know, being entangled by some sort of snake. Let's see, what else do we have here? This one. Of course, David, or the statue, is going to be the most prominent or most well-known statue. So the more well-known the statue is, the better. Yeah. So I think I'm either gonna do him, David. Let me just save him as the original as well, so I have that as reference. Why Michelangelo's heroic David is art's most admired sculpture. Interesting. Save that. Okay, I definitely can't show that. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna do David. Maybe I'll add some more. I'm maybe gonna change his pose a little bit, or like add some more to the scene. Maybe I'm gonna go for this. I'm not quite sure yet. Of course, it can't be too ambitious because we only have 2 months. 2 months sound like quite a lot, but if we spend like 2 weeks on only sculpting, that could actually like be quite like could take up too much time that we can actually bear from the overall process. So yeah, we have to really evaluate how much we can do in these 2 months. I mean, it's not even 2 months anymore, so yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna think about it some more. Tomorrow we're gonna look into geometry notes. We're gonna go in blind. I'm not gonna look at any tutorials. We're just gonna look at it and see what we can do in 3.5 hours. Figure it out ourselves, and then yeah, we're gonna see what we can get in these 3 hours. Then on Thursday we're gonna work on this. We're gonna probably start the piece. So hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. Hopefully you learned something new. Maybe you'll use this technique, this eyelash technique, in the future. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna cut it there. And yeah, tomorrow we're gonna go into geometry notes. 6:30 p.m. is gonna be the start. UTC, of course. We're gonna start with another quick sketch, 30 minutes, and then we're gonna go right into geometry notes. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a nice rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a great rest of your day, as I said before. And yeah, until then, maybe until tomorrow, I'll see you then. Bye bye.